Women's basketball is back. Paige Bueckers played her first game of the season. She did really well. You could tell she put in a lot of work this offseason. Now, all that is good, but instead of getting praise like I thought she deserved, I'll say more hate for her performance. I started to think like, damn, if she has a really good season, instead of people respecting whatever type of season she has, I know it's just the first game, I feel like she's gonna get, oh, she's old, so she's supposed to be doing this, instead of, you know, what she's doing is pretty impressive. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna look into everything. I found it pretty interesting. Paige Bueckers today, she had 27 points and 9 rebounds. She shot 12 for 14. I'll play the highlights from the game at the end of the video. So I saw this one of the tweets I saw, but there was a lot, you know, but this one of the tweets I saw. Someone said this cool and on T realized she's 23 playing against 18-year-olds. Here's the thing with this. When she was 18, she was killing 23-year-olds. I don't know. I'll understand if like she just caught her stride now. When she was 18, she was killing 23-year-olds. It's just, you know, she had a lot of injuries and things like that. Legit could look at her numbers. Like her first year, she averaged 20, you know, and then, you know, she had her injuries and she dealt with like all types of stuff. But her first year, she averaged 20. She had the knee injury, and then, you know, y'all know how everything else went. I think one of the big reasons she stayed back is obviously she wants to win a natty, which is fair. I think Paige has a great opportunity to win one. Another thing with that tweet as well, it's not just his tweet. There's a lot of others. Not saying the guy's wrong, by the way. Not saying he's completely wrong. I feel where he's coming from. This is something interesting I saw. It said how Paige Bueckers' freshman season compares to other all-time greats. Look, she played 29 games. She averaged 20, 581 points in 29 games. You see how she ranks up compared to like a Sabrina, Brianna, Katie, Maya Moore. Look how many accolades she won her freshman year. Like, you even had people bringing like this type of stuff up. They said this Fort Hays player, when I get 100 on my test, but the narp next to me gets to participate Halloween weekend while I'm getting my ankles obliterated by Paige Bueckers. Paige about to have these girls in hell. She had a full off season of work. If she stays healthy, I don't see who can guard her in women's basketball this year. But this is Geno's comments on her performance. I'm gonna play it.
You guys got off to a slow start. Any thoughts on that and any concern going forward?
Concern and no, I don't have any concern. I think the reason you play exhibition games is to kind of get out in public for the first time, so you expect your veteran players to play like veterans, and you expect your young players to be a little bit nervous in the beginning. So all of our veterans played great. I thought Paige was fantastic. All the other veterans, they were lousy. They were on the bench.
Why always sound like he hating on somebody? I don't know. Ever since like comments he made, Geno used to be held to such like a high standard because the UConn used to just destroy women's basketball. It's like Nick Saban I'm not gonna say Nick Saban turned the hater with the NIL stuff and all that, but it's kind of watching like somebody who used to win so much, had so much respect, and Nick Saban didn't lose his respect or anything. I just feel like anything Geno say, he hated now. He used to be overly respected. He still is, but I don't know. A lot of people don't rock with him nowadays. Other thing with Geno, you know how people have been talking about they should change the one and done rule for women's basketball. They got on Geno about not supporting that. And here's the thing, why would he support that? We got to use common sense. Like, the guy wants to win every single year. If he has a really good 5-star recruit like a Paige Bueckers, who after her freshman year, even Juju, after their freshman year, they could have left because they played that well. I feel like they're ready now. Why would a coach support that? Y'all saw Tony Bennett just retired with the NIL stuff. He realized like, damn, I can't compete and get the players I want no more because schools like a Texas and Arkansas, high-level schools, they got more money. They were already doing it under the table. You know, for these coaches, if a rule doesn't favor them, you can't expect them to support it. Of course, they're not going to support it. All right, look, he said a potential one and done rule in women's college basketball could ruin the game, according to UConn coach. It depends whether you want a game to grow or you want to kill it. I never believed in all that fake player development junk, like, oh, do 4 years. Certain players need it, but to the time, I think players now see through coaches' BS. If a player is good enough, let them go. They're going to have a better chance of developing in the W. Somebody like Paige, she has a better chance of developing in a W, but I feel like a big reason she stayed was to get a natty, which is respectable. You know, you can't really hate on that. This is other comments on Paige. I'm gonna play this.
I'm sure there's a big part of that. I'm sure. I think we've seen a lot of one or the other, but we've only seen a glimpse of that combination together. Expecting it to be, super supernatural or super worldly is maybe a little bit too much too soon. But I do think that having someone like Paige at her best, at her most, wanting to get a bucket every time down, as you saw today, opens up a lot of opportunities for a lot of people. Watching Azzui in practice, she's more than stand there, wait for the ball, and be the best shooter in the country like everybody thinks she is. So I'm anxious to see what that looks like. I'm sure they've had many talks about it, and I'm sure they had a lot of talks about it before, and it always fell apart. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and we get to see it.
They look pretty good. I'm excited to see how USC looks as well. I'm also excited to see, I want to see who the next upcoming star is. Like, we know about men's basketball, like to check out Cooper Flagg, Drake Powell, you know, a couple other players. But for women's, I'm curious to see who the next star is. Like, who's going to be the next talked about player that they got all their eyes on. It may not be Paige. You know, right now it is Paige. There might be another player who just comes out of nowhere and takes over women's basketball again. Like, it could happen. You know, it happened before. I'm excited to see who that next player is. Obviously, of course, all eyes are on UConn, USC, so we're going to see how that goes. But I'm going to play the highlights from the game. We know how you feel about, you know, women's basketball's upcoming season. I'll keep y'all posted everything. I'm going to play the highlights. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section. And as always, it's your boy.
Bueckers all the way.
Stepped up the pressure here.
Bueckers from the wing for three.
And Paige said, I've had enough of that.
Yeah, she missed 2 shots.
Bueckers 4 for 4 in the first quarter. The three. It's good. Yeah.
Interesting how quickly Bueckers got put back into the game.
Paige Bueckers, no good from Weeder after she hit the three. Shade from Bueckers, whips a three. 51 blocks last year, 76 steals because she was forced to.
She was forced to play in the lane.
Bueckers, another three. She's 7 for 7 in the first half. Who leads the team in boards? Paige Bueckers, 8 for 8.
Perimeter defense.
Bailey Wilborn appeared in 8 games last year and did not score. Jen to Brady, inside for Paige. Open underneath for no good. Chen rips down the rebound. Bueckers, little floater off the window for. It's the first team foul. Paige Bueckers.